Hi there and welcome to this review of the One Way UK Daily Devotionals, this time for the 4th through to the 8th of March. And we've been looking this week at faith in relation to God's promises, particularly concerning healing. And something that really stuck in my mind was this. I'm just going to read it to you. This from Matthew chapter 8 verses 14 to 17. When Jesus arrived at Peter's house, Peter's mother-in-law was sick in bed with a high fever. But when Jesus touched her hand, the fever left her. Then she got up and prepared a meal for him. That evening, many demon-possessed people were brought to Jesus. He cast out the evil spirits with a single command, and he healed all the sick. This fulfilled the word of the Lord through the prophet Isaiah, who said, "He took our sicknesses and removed our diseases." And the thought I had about this, which hasn't left me, is that you can't half fulfill a promise. Like in a wedding ceremony where people promise to love one another in sickness and in health. Well, if somebody only loved their spouse while their spouse was healthy, and then as soon as they fell sick were off going around with somebody else or going off on holiday and showing every sign of not having an ounce of care for them, people wouldn't actually say they'd fulfilled their marriage promise. And yet that's somehow how some folk regard Jesus, because if we actually believe, or rather don't believe, that he heals people, then it's rather like saying, well, he's only half fulfilling his promise. He might still be around, he might still listen to our prayers, but the fact that he doesn't heal people, I mean, that's sort of pretty clear to me. Well, that's a nonsense thing to say, with the greatest of respect, because the Bible says that Jesus fulfills his promises. God fulfills his promises. That's the whole point of the New Testament. We read so many times in the Gospels that little phrase that's down here, "This fulfilled the word of the Lord." And that's the exciting thing. You see, when we see the things that were fulfilled in the New Testament through the action of Jesus, the part that our faith plays in it is appropriating that and saying, well, he did it then, I believe he can do it now. That's a great thought with which to go towards the weekend. It only remains for me to hope you have a wonderful weekend and that the weather isn't like it is today, and I look forward to being with you next week.
You know, I've been to many different places, and I've seen so many lonely spaces.